Welcome back to Girl Talk. We are filming here at Rubens, our lifestyle, off of Whitney Way, and we're so excited to chat with those folks a little bit later. Joining us now are two friendly and familiar faces I'm sure you recognize, Chris and John, who join us from Accu Clime Mechanical Services. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for bringing us on.
This is a great time to talk about your services as the weather is going to start turning on us a little bit. It's that time of year where you're not sure what to use, heating or air, right?
Or both.
Back and forth.
Or both.
But the name mechanical services, let's talk a little bit about that, because we don't necessarily equate mechanical services with heating and air conditioning, but that's a big part of what you do.
Well, when you think about the mechanicals in the basement, it's kind of how we narrow it down. We also do other things like refrigeration, so there's more than just the furnace and air conditioner end of things. And that's kind of where the mechanical term comes from. We do ductwork, sheet metal, refrigeration with restaurants and things like that, the hot side of restaurants. So that type of stuff, so trying to encompass it in one name, that's where the mechanical kind of comes from.
Got it, okay. So all that stuff that I know nothing about, the mechanical stuff.
And speaking of not knowing a lot about that kind of thing, so let's talk about the heating and air conditioning, your residential customers. When you're coming into their home, it makes me sort of think of when you take your car to the mechanic. You know, I have to admit, I don't know a lot about how my car actually works, and I'm at their mercy, and sometimes you worry about whether you're going to be taken advantage of, maybe sold something you don't need. And I assume that you probably encounter that sort of thing. How do you deal with that and assure your customers?
Well, we see that quite a bit when we go into their home, especially if it's a first-time customer. After a little bit, they get very comfortable with us. So, but when we meet with them the first time, it's important to me when I go into a customer's house for them to understand their system, their mechanical system, and make them familiar with the little pieces about it. And then if there are some needed repairs or things like that, I'll kind of let them know, or try and let them know what's really a priority and what is kind of like in the future. Let's look for this that you want to watch for. A lot of the times it's more so, hey, next year, next season, we'll want to prepare and get this done. Keep us ahead of the game is what we're trying to. That's the idea of annual maintenance.
What's neat about educating the customer too is then it's not just you know everything, and again that person's kind of at the mercy of your experience and knowledge, but now if they can understand a little bit too, I think that helps in understanding maybe what they need.
Well, we definitely want to make sure you guys feel comfortable with what's in the house, first of all, and second of all, we want you to be familiar with your own pieces of equipment so you know what to look for.
We want you to feel just right.
Yes, yes we do.
Exactly.
And kind of along those same lines, you know, how do we know that it's not just sort of an upsell, that there's a legitimate concern? What do you do in terms of education to walk you through that?
If it's a scenario where, in a case where you can't quite get to, or the homeowner doesn't want to come down into the basement, I'm a big fan of taking a picture. Our smartphones are a wonderful thing. I usually will take a picture and then bring it up and show them exactly what they're looking at.
Actually see what part it is.
And we'll actually show you the furnace after we replace the part after we replace it, and show you what was wrong with it.
The before and after.
Yep.
Again,
exactly.
like a car mechanic that will save the part for you if you ask for it.
Really smart. Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Sure, right. So I know that you also are trying to help customers save money, but cheaper is not always better. Is that true?
Yeah, that is true. In this industry, you pretty much get what you pay for, and if they're cheaper, there's a reason behind it. They're not doing something that they should be doing.
Gotcha. And let's talk a little bit about, really quick before we go, when you do walkthroughs, when you go to their house, what do you do on the phone before that walkthrough happens that helps kind of get people ready for their walkthrough?
Usually what we do when a customer calls in, if they need us to come out for a service call, I'll usually have them run through a couple of things on our checklist, like checking the batteries and the thermostat, checking to make sure their air filter is clean. Go outside, check the outside on the outside piping to see if it's blocked.
So you're troubleshooting over the phone.
Yeah,
maybe it's a quick fix.
We want to do that rather than have us come out and just go, hey, look, your batteries are dead on your thermostat.
That'd be so embarrassing. Thanks for sparing us, because that would be me, absolutely.
You're checking that when you get home now, aren't
yeah,
you?
Exactly.
You know it.
Exactly.
Well, Chris and John, thanks so much once again for joining us. These folks are from Accu Clime Mechanical Services. We've gotten to know them very well over the last couple months, and you guys are just fabulous. So
thanks for
having us out.
Thanks for helping us out. And please stick around for more Girl Talk. We'll be back right here at Rubens. Stay tuned.